Most people think anarchy means chaos. When they hear the word, they think of violence, riots in the street, Molotov cocktails. They think anarchy is an absence of order, but anarchy is a negation of hierarchy or rulers. And more importantly, anarchy is a type of order. That is why it is the A inside the O. It's anarchic order, or more specifically, a private law society, and even more specifically, a proprietary polycentric order. So how can we have an order without political governance? How can we have an order without rulers? Well, consider the idea of spontaneous order, or order without planning. When you think of things like language, music, money, recipes, techniques, fashion, architecture, these are all things that have been created by the millions of minds that contributed ideas, and some contributions have been more influential than others, but yet we see a type of order emerge in all these different aspects. This is very organic. This is a part of a peaceful societal civilization. When you go to the cafe to get your bread and coffee, you wait in a line because it benefits you and everyone around you, rather than acting violently and trying to take your coffee and bread and leave. But this peaceful organization that emerges almost seemingly spontaneously is not something that requires a political ruler or hierarchy to establish. We learn these types of orders not from the law, but from our own self-interest and being a part of a society. Furthermore, it was the ancient Greeks who said anarchy could work, but it's not a very good idea. And it's today that people find themselves saying, well, it's a good idea, but it could never work. But this series is dedicated to showing and explaining how anarchy can function, analyzing the architecture of anarchy. In anarchy, you have norms, you have rules, you have culture. These things are not something that need to be imposed by governance. They actually preceded governance. Moreover, it's the culture of norms and rules that gave way for the organization of political governance. So anarchy most certainly can have governance and rules, but this form of governance is one that emerges in society via social cooperation. So as we go into this series, I don't want you to agree with anarchy. I want you to consider, where does order come from? And more specifically, is it the people or governments that really create order in society? And when you recognize that it's millions of people that foster social cooperation, then I think you can begin to see how society can exist without political governance.